Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your February 2018 mid-month general readings. Winter in Northern California, I'm telling you, the sun was just kind of coming up in the windows. It's morning here, but we're getting a light rain as well. So winter in Northern California, sun and rain at the same time. Anyway, welcome to everyone. Thank you for being here with us today. Welcome to any newcomers, and thank you for your continued like, share, subscribes, and all your support, feedback, and comments. Those of you who continue to follow me regularly, thank you for that. And always a special thank you to both my regular and new clients as well for reaching out for personal one-on-one readings. Keeping me so busy with those, always an honor and a pleasure. For those of you who are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me and you haven't read with me before or you've forgotten the information, you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on the About button for more information and my contact details. You can also find my contact info attached to the description of all the videos I post. I do a wide variety of readings in all main areas of life, including specific charts on compatibility spreads for couples and relationships, and 6 and 12 month life overviews too, in addition to regular love readings and career, work, and finance, and channeled messages and so on. So you can find all that info there. Turnaround time's pretty fast because I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do. So it can be anywhere from, had a jumper. Oh, a whole stack of them. Okay. Turnaround time can be anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks. Almost always within a 2-week period of time or so, we can set up a reading for you live or recorded. For those of you who are just looking for a quick answer or two to a quick question or two, maybe you have a decision you need to make really quickly, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo for kind of readings on the fly. We can do the one question, one answer option, or you can open it up for a little reading via text. And they also have a video chat option and just a phone call too, which comes right through my phone. So if you're just looking for something quick and more immediate, you can find me on Instantgo, and that the link to that is also with my contact information. So let's get into this. Remember, these are general readings, so they're going to resonate differently for different people. Although the energy, whatever area of your life that it resonates in, the energy will fundamentally remain the same. Check your rising and your moon sign videos as well if you know them for additional clarification. Some months you may find that one of your other signs may play out a little more predictably for you. All right, so this reading is for the air sign of Libra. For the last half of February, we're looking at the last couple of weeks of February here, February 2018 mid-month for Libra. Let's see what's in store for Libra. It's going dark again. It's raining and the sun's going in and out of the clouds. Let's try turning on the light and see if it makes a difference. I don't think we need it. Okay, Libra. We begin with the Seven of Swords, followed by the King of Pentacles, and Judgment, followed by the Two of Swords. From the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is the Two of Cups. All right, let me take a look, Libra. I feel like pulling just a couple more cards from the top, Two of Wands and the Ace of Cups. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm getting two kind of different sort of messages and I wanted to clarify. The energy, although the stories may vary, the specifics and details may vary because these are general readings, they can be kind of tricky because there's so many of you watching and it's going to mean different things, although the energy remains the same. I feel like for some of you, the majority of you, I'm getting just the last couple months of February is mostly on relationships, a significant relationship for some of you, love and romance for a lot of you, though for others of you it just may be another significant relationship, could be a best friend, as well. You can also translate this energy into, you know, career, work, and finances, but I'm getting mostly a relationship focus. Your overall energy is the Two of Cups, which is traditionally one of the soulmate cards of the tarot. This is more than just chemical attraction. This is a meeting of the mind, the heart, the soul, the spirit, kind of looking at things in the same way. A person that after you met them pretty quickly, you'd feel like you'd known them for quite a long time. And in job or work and career, it can represent, you know, finding the right career path or the right job for yourself. Fundamentally, the Two of Cups represents a beautiful union that's beneficial in more than just obvious tangible ways too. So that's the overall energy and guidance for the last couple of weeks of February. I'm getting that for some of you, this is new love and romance. It's someone that you may have met just recently. And I'm getting that for others of you, it's a reconciliation or a potential reconciliation. Regardless of what kind of category you fall into, it feels like there is a desire to keep it under wraps for some of you. We have the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles. I'm only pulling we're only pulling 5 cards total, 2 cards for each of the remaining weeks, with a 5th one from the bottom of the deck for overall energy, but I felt like pulling a couple of more for additional clarification. So around the middle of the month or so, and it feels like this is something that's been going on though for a while, we have the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So swords is air energy. It's reflected and manifested in the tarot more on an internal psychological level. It's about what goes on in our heads, what we think, our perspectives, our belief systems, and how that affects the way that we communicate and relate to the outside world. That's the energy of swords. The Seven of Swords is sometimes called the Thief card. It can represent, you know, actual theft, being stolen from money or property or something. It can represent a feeling of being exploited or taken advantage of, you know, leaving you maybe feeling bereft or drained or, you know, taken advantage of over and over again. Sometimes in relationships it can represent, you know, being the one that you feel like the other person or other people are just taking and taking and you're not getting anything in return. But it can also represent, you know, keeping things undercover. It can represent, you know, deceit or slipperiness, something not being what it appears to be on the surface. This card sometimes gets a bad rap because on the surface, sometimes it does represent someone being deceitful, and that could be the case for some of you, particularly with a partner as well. I'm getting for a lot of you though that it's about keeping something to yourself, because the Seven of Swords can represent, you know, I guess being sneaky in a positive way, if that makes sense. You know, not talking about all your plans or making plans or being engaged in doing something and not really wanting other people to know about it for the time being, because it can represent, you know, kind of operating outside the grid or for a time being in order to get something accomplished or figure something out, which I'm getting that energy for a lot of you actually. Now it's paired with, clarified by the King of Pentacles, so earth energy here. So this is showing up as a king, although it could be a female as well. Kings and queens represent individuals who've reached the mastery of their suit. So chronologically, this would likely not be a young person, although it could be. I say that because it's a general reading, and general readings can be kind of tricky that way. Somebody who's manifesting as the King of Pentacles, if not an actual earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Somebody who's probably financially secure, if not well off, because they're the King of Pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy, so it deals with earthly, tangible, concrete things a lot of times, like money, finance, property, real estate, assets, job, that sort of thing. Probably somebody who's generous, tends to like the finer things in life. He's worked hard to get to where he's at. Usually a pretty good friend, a pretty good companion. This could be somebody that you're involved with, Libra. This could represent your partner. If they're not an actual earth sign, it could represent that they're showing up as the King of Pentacles. Some of you, I'm getting mostly relationship energy from this reading, but for some of you it could be maybe you're doing something with money or finances or resources or even your job or career path in a way that's unorthodox, or making plans and not telling other people about it. For others of you, I think the majority of you, this is representing your partner in the relationship, or your either their energy with you or your energy with them. Some of you, you may have met someone new recently, but for some reason you're wanting to keep it to yourself. You're not wanting to tell other people about it because you're not sure where you're going to go with it, because there's a sense of feeling stuck and not knowing what the right thing to do is, or not knowing what to do. For others of you, I'm getting that this could be a reconciliation or a reconciliation opportunity with an ex or an old partner of some kind, and again, you're keeping it to yourself, or perhaps you have recently reconciled, but because I'm getting that some of you may have either recently reconciled with an ex or are considering reconciling with an ex, but you don't want to tell other people about it because perhaps it was a difficult breakup, and the opinion of maybe your friends and family, people that care about you, are so against this ex that you just don't want to kind of get into it just yet. And for a smaller portion of you, it could be that a partner or somebody else that you trusted actually did take from you in a certain sense, and you're not quite sure what to do. So there's a variety of different stories here. The energy fundamentally remains the same though. I feel like there's a sense of kind of keeping it to yourself, or not really talking about it too much because you're not quite sure how to proceed. For the last week of February or so, time being somewhat fluid as I like to say, we have Judgment and the Two of Swords. So Judgment's a major arcana card, and it's a card that it's a call to action, because that's what this holy angel is doing. He's blowing his horn, who's going to answer, but it's a call to careful answer too. And there's an air of finality about it too, which says that yes, a decision needs to be made. There is action to be taken here, but you need to be careful about what that action is, or what that decision or choice is, because it's going to have a lasting effect. That's the air of finality to Judgment. It's going to set the stage for something for quite some time to come. It's not going to be a decision or an action that you can reverse. So it's about being very careful and contemplative and considering about what you decide to do or how you decide to proceed. And always with cards like Judgment and Justice, in the upright particularly, what you set in motion is going to set the stage for something and send a message, not just to the people that are aware of it, but to yourself as well. So there's always this connection of, you know, being truthful and operating from a sense of honor and integrity, personal honor and integrity, because the decision you make, if you make it in kind of an underhanded way, or you know, if you make it in, you know, adhering to the highest level of honor and personal integrity that you have, that's kind of the stage that it sets and the message that it sends to the people that are aware of it, and to yourself as well. So it's about careful. It's a call to action, but careful considering call to action. And it's clarified by the Two of Swords. Some more mental cerebral energy here. This is a card about feeling stuck, as you can see, being at a crossroads, duality, which the twos often represent, needing to make a choice, a decision, but not really knowing, feeling a bit stuck. And there's a pretty strong sense of sometimes keeping your head in the sand with this card. She's blindfolded, which can represent genuinely not knowing which way to go, but it often, I find, can represent needing to make a decision or a choice, but you don't really want to. There's a reluctance or a resistance to take this blindfold off and really look at the reality of the situation and make a decision based on that. The moon underneath here, this faint outline of the moon, which usually represents our deeper subconscious intuition, deeper spirituality. There's almost a sense, and I'm getting it quite strongly off this card in whatever situation this is for you, Libra, that there's a sense that deep down maybe you know what to do, or you have this intuitive sense about what to do about the situation, but you're feeling stuck. The strong advice here I'm getting is Judgment overall. It's about taking an honest and direct look at the situation. And I think once you do that, it's going to be clear how you need to proceed, whether this is about a new love and romance that you're maybe afraid to talk about or to proceed further with because for some reason you may be afraid of the reception it gets. Same with a reconciliation. Some of you, you know, someone significant to you was not honest with you, or there was some deception. It could be you that was the deceptive one as well. And there's a sense of being stuck and not knowing what the right thing is to do on the surface, but I think underneath you do, and all you really need to do is take that blindfold off to look at it. I pulled a couple of extra cards to see about getting clarification about it, and I pulled the Ace of Cups and the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is about long-term thinking and planning. How is this going to play out? How might this play out in the long term? Does it fit with what I really want for myself and in this area of my life in the long run? And the Ace of Cups can represent new love and romance, or new emotional awakenings, the heart opening up again. So Libra, it looks like maybe a lot of you, regardless of how the specifics of this play out, the details, the energy is the same. It looks like you're in a bit of a, maybe a bit of a moral or ethical dilemma right now, and playing out over the last couple of weeks of February. Feeling stuck, not knowing what the right thing is to do, or maybe not wanting to do what you feel is the right thing to do, but that's what you're being called to do, to kind of take the blindfold off, and the way will become clear then. So, I mean, it's not a bad month. It looks like more of a month where we're basically looking at the last couple of weeks of February, but you know, this is probably a situation that's been playing out for at least a little while for some of you, even if it's, you know, having recently met somebody again, or trying to figure out, you know, it could be a partner of yours, or you with a partner that's done something, and you're not quite sure. Maybe you want to come out with it and you're just not quite sure how to do that. But the best way is to just do it, because I think if you continue to kind of, you know, do the head in the sand thing, or keep something quiet, I feel like for a lot of you there's a sense of internal pressure. So yeah, I feel like it's more the next couple of weeks, it's more kind of contemplating that. What do I do about it? What's the right thing to do about it? If somebody has like taken from you, or there's an actual, you know, theft, exploitation thing here, it's about not sweeping it under the carpet and not ignoring things, because you're being called to act here. Spirit is actually saying, you know, do the right thing. You know what the right thing is. You just need to face this head on and deal with it. And I feel like it's going to be a lot better for you. You're going to feel a lot better afterwards, even if there's ramification and consequences, because for some, in some sense, it does represent a new emotional beginning, and being able to kind of let go and release whatever's been kind of weighing you down, or creating this sense of internal pressure, Libra. So that was quite a bit more intense than some of the mid-months tend to be, but that's what it looks like it is. So it'll be interesting to see what the specific feedback on this is, how this resonates for those of you watching in specific ways, because I always like reading about that. I rarely ever respond to the feedback, the comments, because I just don't have the time, but I do read them all. So thank you. And those of you who wish to give feedback, please do. So Libra, that pretty much wraps up your February 2018 mid-month readings. Thank you for watching. Again, those of you that are interested in any more personal, tailored just for you one-on-one reading, go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that About button for more information and my contact details, which you will also find attached to the videos themselves, the description video. On the description of every video that I post. Feel free to email me directly. Here comes the sun again. Feel free to email me directly at Maggie_McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you and set up a reading for you as quickly as possible, live or recorded. And for quick answers to quick questions, if you need a more immediate response to something fast, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo. And that information is also with the rest of my contact details. So Libra, take care. I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the March 2018 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.